you're going to die. That might sound harsh, but it's the truth. We're all on a timeline. The real question is how long you'll live. And more importantly, how well you'll live. Now, I say that not to scare you, but to wake you up. Because the choices we make today, especially what we put on our plate, can either speed us toward poor health or help us enjoy more energy, strength, and independence in the years ahead. If you're over 60, your body doesn't handle food the same way it used to. That means some of the eating habits that worked for you at 50, or even, it might, now be quietly working against you. And the sad truth is, many seniors are unknowingly making diet mistakes that increase their risk of heart disease, memory loss, weakness, and even early death. But here's the good news, you don't have to be one of them. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 deadly diet mistakes that older adults often make, mistakes that may be sabotaging your health without you even realizing it. More importantly, I'll show you exactly what to do instead so you can start feeling better, stronger, and more in control of your life again. Let's jump right in with the first mistake, because this one might surprise you. It's number 1, skipping meals or eating too little throughout the day. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not hungry. Or I just don't feel like eating much anymore. And that's understandable. As we age, our appetite naturally changes. But here's the problem. If you're consistently skipping meals or only eating small portions, you're not giving your body the fuel it needs to function properly. Your muscles, your brain, your immune system, they all rely on consistent nutrition. When you go too long without eating, especially protein-rich foods, your body starts breaking down muscle tissue for energy. And once that muscle is gone, it's hard to get back. This leads to weakness, slower recovery from illness or injury, and even a higher risk of falls. So what can you do? Well, first, aim to eat something every 3 to 4 hours, even if it's small. Think of it as feeding your body regularly, like you'd feed a fire to keep it burning strong. Include a source of protein at each meal and snack. That could be eggs, Greek yogurt, a handful of nuts, lean meats, or even a smoothie with protein powder. And don't worry, you don't have to eat huge portions. Just focus on consistency and quality. Even a boiled egg and a piece of fruit mid-morning can make a world of difference in how you feel by the afternoon. Now let's move on to mistake number 2, relying too heavily on processed and convenience foods. Look, I get it. Life gets busy. Some days cooking a full meal feels like climbing a mountain. So it's easy to reach for frozen dinners, canned soups, or packaged snacks. They're quick, they're easy, and sometimes they're the only thing in the fridge. But here's the hidden danger. These foods are often loaded with sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats. And for someone over 60, that kind of diet can wreak havoc on your blood pressure, digestion, and energy levels. In fact, too much salt alone can raise your blood pressure to dangerous levels, and that's a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. So what's the solution? Try to make at least half of your plate whole, unprocessed foods. Things like fresh vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins. If you're short on time, buy pre-chopped veggies or frozen ones. They're still nutritious and save you prep work. Canned beans are fine too, as long as you rinse them well to remove excess sodium. And when it comes to snacks, skip the crackers and cookies. Instead, try apple slices with peanut butter, carrot sticks with hummus, or a few almonds and walnuts. These options give you nutrients, fiber, and healthy fats that will keep you full longer and support your heart and brain. All right, so we've covered skipping meals and leaning too much on processed foods. Now let's talk about mistake number 3, not drinking enough water. Yes, water. It sounds simple, but dehydration is a silent enemy among seniors. And it's more common than you think. As we age, our sense of thirst decreases. So you might not realize how dehydrated you actually are until you're already feeling dizzy, confused, or constipated. Dehydration can also lead to urinary tract infections, fatigue, and even hospitalization in severe cases. The key is to stay ahead of it. Don't wait until you're thirsty. By then, you're already behind. Aim to sip fluids throughout the day. Water is best, but herbal teas, broths, and even water-rich foods like cucumbers, oranges, and melons can help. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor, or keep a bottle with you at all times as a reminder to take small sips regularly. And if you're on medication or have specific health conditions, always check with your doctor about your fluid needs. These are 3 powerful changes you can start making today, eating more consistently, choosing whole foods over processed ones, and staying hydrated. Each of these steps plays a role in keeping your body strong, your mind clear, and your energy steady. And believe me, when you feel better physically, Everything else in life improves too. Your mood, your relationships, even your confidence. Now, before we wrap up part 1, I want to leave you with this thought. Your health isn't something that just happens to you. It's shaped by the choices you make every single day. And while you can't control everything, you can control what goes into your body. So why not start today? We've already covered 3 major diet mistakes that can quietly rob seniors of their health and vitality. Skipping meals, relying too much on processed foods, and not drinking enough water. If you've started making changes in those areas, great job. Every small step adds up. Now it's time to talk about the 4th, and perhaps most overlooked, diet mistake that many seniors make. This one might surprise you because it doesn't feel dangerous at all. In fact, a lot of people think they're doing something good for themselves when they do it. So here it is, consuming too much sugar, even the hidden kind. Yes, I'm talking about sugar. Not just the spoonful you add to your coffee or the occasional piece of birthday cake. I mean the sneaky sugars hiding in everyday foods. Things like flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, sauces, dressings, and even so-called healthy snacks. You see, as we get older, our bodies become less efficient at processing sugar. That means even small amounts can start to have a big impact, especially on your heart, brain, and energy levels. Too much sugar over time can lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and even cognitive decline. And once those problems start, they tend to snowball into bigger issues, like memory loss, fatigue, and chronic inflammation that affects your joints and overall mobility. I know this sounds serious, and it is. But again, the goal isn't to scare you, it's to empower you with knowledge so you can take control. So what can you do? First, start reading labels. Sugar goes by many names: sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, cane juice, agave nectar. The list goes on. If any of these are near the top of the ingredient list, that product is loaded with sugar. Second, choose whole foods whenever possible. Nature gives us sweetness in the form of fruits, apples, berries, oranges, and even dates. These come packaged with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that help your body process them more slowly and gently. Third, if you have a sweet tooth, and who doesn't every now and then, look for ways to satisfy it without refined sugar. Try blending frozen bananas with a bit of cinnamon for a creamy dessert, or mix plain Greek yogurt with fresh berries and a drizzle of raw honey. You'll still get that sweet taste, but with far fewer negative effects. Now, before we move forward, let me pause for a moment and remind you why we're going through all this. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about recognizing that the food choices we make today shape how we feel tomorrow. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. When you eat better, you sleep better. When you sleep better, you have more energy. When you have more energy, you enjoy life more. That's the real power of making smart dietary changes. Let's circle back to the 4 deadly diet mistakes we've discussed. Skipping meals or eating too little, relying too heavily on processed foods, not drinking enough water, consuming too much hidden sugar. Each of these mistakes has a direct impact on your energy, strength, mental clarity, and long-term health. But each also comes with a clear solution, one that's simple, doable, and completely within your control. And that brings me to something important. Sometimes when we hear about things we shouldn't be doing, it can feel overwhelming, like we're being told everything we've been doing is wrong. But that's not the case at all. These aren't rules. They're tools. Think of them as building blocks toward a healthier, more vibrant version of yourself. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with one thing. Maybe begin by drinking more water throughout the day, or swapping out one processed snack for something whole and nourishing. Progress matters more than perfection. Also, remember that nutrition isn't the only factor in your well-being. There's movement, rest, connection, purpose, all of which play a role in how you feel and how long you live. But food is the foundation. It's the fuel that powers everything else. And when you give your body the right fuel, amazing things happen. Your digestion improves, your energy stabilizes, your mind sharpens, your moods balance out. You may even notice that old aches and pains start to ease up, all from making smarter choices at the grocery store and at the dinner table. So if you're watching this and thinking, is it really worth changing my habits now? Let me tell you, yes. Yes, it absolutely is. Because living longer isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And the best part? It's never too late to start. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 80 plus, your body is still capable of healing, adapting, and thriving. All it needs is a little support from you. Support in the form of nourishing food, of hydration, of consistency, of self-respect. Because when you care enough to feed your body well, you're sending a powerful message that you matter, that your health matters, that your future matters, and that's a message worth living by. In the final part of this video, we'll wrap things up by diving deeper into practical meal ideas, easy swaps you can make in your kitchen, and how to build a daily routine that supports your energy and independence for years to come. Until then, I encourage you to reflect on what we've talked about so far. Maybe even write down one small change you can start implementing this week. Even better, share it in the comments below. Let's support each other, learn together, and grow stronger as a community. Because this journey toward better health, sharper minds, and fuller lives is one we don't have to walk alone. By now, you've learned about 4 major diet mistakes that can quietly affect your health as you age, and more importantly, how to avoid them. You know why skipping meals weakens your muscles, how processed foods strain your heart, why dehydration sneaks up on you, and how hidden sugars sabotage your energy and brain function. Now it's time to take what we've covered and turn it into real, everyday action. Because knowledge is powerful, but only when you use it. So let's talk about something practical. What does a senior-friendly, health-boosting meal plan actually look like? Well, here's the good news. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. In fact, the best eating plans are simple, flexible, and based around whole, unprocessed foods. Let's start with breakfast. Instead of sugary cereals, instant oatmeal packets full of additives, or skipping the meal altogether, try this. A small bowl of plain Greek, yogurt mixed with fresh berries and a sprinkle of ground flaxseed. Add a boiled egg on the side for protein. This combination gives you fiber, antioxidants, healthy fats, and muscle-supporting protein, all without any artificial ingredients or unnecessary sugar. Or if you prefer something warm, make steel-cut oats with a splash of almond milk, topped with sliced banana and a spoonful of natural peanut butter. It's comforting, satisfying, and keeps your blood sugar stable throughout the morning. Lunch is another opportunity to nourish your body well. Try a colorful salad with mixed greens, grilled chicken or tofu, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, avocado, and a handful of pumpkin seeds. Dress it lightly with olive oil and apple cider vinegar. That's a powerhouse of nutrients, supporting everything from heart health to joint mobility and brain function. If salads aren't your thing, go for a homemade turkey wrap using a whole grain tortilla, lean meat, spinach, and hummus. Pair it with a piece of fruit and maybe a few walnuts for an extra brain boost. Snacks matter too. Instead of reaching for crackers, cookies, or packaged bars loaded with sugar, try things like baby carrots with guacamole, apple slices with almond butter, or a small container of cottage cheese with pineapple chunks. These snacks keep you full longer and give your body the nutrients it needs between meals. Now dinner, often the most filling meal of the day, should focus on quality protein, fiber-rich vegetables, and complex carbohydrates. Grilled salmon with roasted sweet potatoes and steamed broccoli is a great option. Salmon is rich in omega-3s that support brain and heart health. Sweet potatoes provide long-lasting energy and are easier on digestion than white potatoes. And broccoli, full of cancer-fighting compounds and bone-strengthening vitamin K. If fish isn't your favorite, baked chicken breast, lentils, or even tempeh are excellent alternatives. Just aim to fill half your plate with vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, and a quarter with whole grains or starchy vegetables like squash or quinoa. Of course, everyone's different. Some of you may have dietary restrictions due to diabetes, high blood pressure, or digestive issues, and that's okay. The key is to work within your needs while still focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods. Also, remember that variety is important. Don't fall into the trap of eating the same 5 foods every week. Try new vegetables, explore different herbs and spices, and experiment with legumes like chickpeas, black beans, and lentils. Each color and type of food offers unique benefits, so the more diverse your plate, the better. And don't forget hydration. Keep a glass of water near you at all times. If plain water feels boring, infuse it with lemon, mint, or cucumber slices. Herbal teas are also a great way to stay hydrated, especially if you're sensitive to caffeine. Now, I want to leave you with something important. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but can I really change my habits after all these years? Yes, you can. Your body is constantly regenerating. Every cell in your body is replaced over time. That means the choices you make today, what you eat, how you move, how you care for yourself, are shaping the version of you that will exist a year from now. And the truth is, aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. losing independence, or feeling tired all the time. With the right nutrition, you can maintain your strength, clarity, and vitality far longer than you might think. It's not about living longer just to live longer. It's about living better. And that starts with what you put on your plate. So I encourage you, start small. Choose one area where you can make a positive change this week. Maybe it's drinking more water, or swapping out one processed snack for something whole and nourishing, or planning a balanced breakfast instead of skipping it. Each step counts. And if you ever feel overwhelmed, just come back to this video, rewatch the parts that spoke to you, take notes, share what resonated with a friend or loved one. We're all in this together. Before I sign off, I want to thank you for being here, for taking the time to invest in your health and future. That alone shows how much you value your life and the people who depend on you. And speaking of community, if you found this information helpful, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps other seniors like you find this content. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video, filled with tips and inspiration for thriving in your later years. You deserve to feel strong, energized, and fully alive at any age. Here's to making smart choices, enjoying every bite, and embracing each day with purpose and joy. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, your health is in your hands. Start today.